Welcome to another episode of Husbands Watching Housewives. I'm Scott.
And I am Jeff.
And we just watched an episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Yes, we just did a back-to-back situation.
Back-to-back. And if we were younger, we'd do New York after this, but we're not.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy talk.
Yeah.
Crazy talk.
We're not in our 20s.
What?
We have a whole different demographic.
Yeah.
That was a crazy episode. Salt Lake is delivering.
It delivers. I feel like I just got run over by drama, and I'm like, what happened? Where am I?
Well, it's also such a, I don't know, it's knowing
so much.
Knowing that we're going to come up and talk about it later, it's a whole different level of where do I look? What do I pay attention to?
Yes.
Because if we were just letting it happen to us and be like, we don't have to talk about it later, it'd just be like, okay, yeah, that happened. But this, I'm like, you gotta remember this, gotta remember that, gotta remember this. And it's getting to be too much. There's too much going on.
I know. It's like you said, we should take notes. I should have known once we realized it was all going to be at the
Mitzvah,
similar to the Bezos party. I'm like, oh, something must really go down, because there's just no need for any other things. I mean, there were a couple of flashbacks, but it was mainly we were at this party, we were still at this party, and stuff continues to go down at this party.
Yeah.
So,
I think we start off by judging the looks. I mean, it'll just get us naturally where we need to go, I think, because first off, Heather Gay shows up.
Horrible.
That was not a good look.
It was why are you trying to dress like a grandma?
I mean, actually, grab that stocking behind you, because it looks like she's wearing that underneath.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah, just this weird shiny sheer thing with a thing over the top of it. It was a sack.
It was a sack. It was so shapeless, and it's you look great. I mean, she looked great before. It was just a bad dress.
Yeah.
So I'm not criticizing her body. It's just she wasn't dressing for the beautiful woman that she is.
No. Again, it was looking a little madam to me. The puppet, not slut shaming anyone. I'm not calling anyone a
madam.
Madam. I'm saying she looks like a puppet.
I was thinking more so like Phyllis Diller, or it was just some old lady. I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but it was bad.
Yeah, it was a little too matronly, and
Mother of the Bride.
The Bride.
Yes,
not the best look.
Even Meredith's mother had a better outfit on.
She had those sleeves, though, the little cuffs.
And her I hated dainty, give me your hand, when it's this is my handshake with you. That's all I can do.
Her mom was wearing Shannon Bedore. She had the cuffs.
Oh, the cuffs. That thing that Shannon likes doing.
Yeah. That's a very Shannon Bedore look.
Yeah. It was bad.
Lisa wore a nice dress, simple black dress, but at least it was a dress. It wasn't a jumpsuit.
It was a dress.
Pants.
Same flat hair. It doesn't.
Yeah. Anyone.
Lisa she can't win, because when she has her hair up in that one confessional with the weird necklace, I don't like it. When it's down and straight, I don't like. I need a whole new look.
It's just unfortunate that Lisa and Angie were Angie's oh, I like your dress, you look pretty. The two of them standing next to each other, one looks like the before and one looks like the after, and I'll let you judge which one's which. But
because I liked Lisa's dress, it was just everything from the neck up. I'm like, what are you doing? You know? And then Angie was just the boobs route. I loved it. It was just
Angie was impeccable in her dress.
Yes.
And what it is that Lisa's hair, I think, is going. It's hair from another era. It's she's trying to do a Crystal Gale situation. It's not quite that dramatic. It needs to be more dramatic. And the coloring in it just looks a little flat. And maybe that's what she's going for.
Right.
It needs some more life to it.
Yeah. It looks like it doesn't move. It's just dead, flat hair.
You can't have that basic or that flat of a haircut and have that flat of a color at the same time.
Yeah,
they don't help each other.
Maybe a different part, or if it was half up, half down. I don't know, but there's something there that can be done, and her good friend Angie, the hairdresser, should be look.
Yeah, we need to have a talk.
Bronwyn
was not dressed appropriately for a religious event of any sort.
No.
I don't think midriff.
Nope.
Especially at a Jewish event.
Yeah.
I don't think that necessarily is something that you see going hand in hand. So if she's trying to buck the trend, she did.
I liked her jacket.
Yeah.
You said her
I think her purse was actually an anatomically correct heart.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
They showed it a couple times. Whatever it was, it looked about the same shape, and it had like ventricle, like looked like that, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Because also it was flesh colored. Like it was just, you know.
It was just weird.
Yeah.
And then I didn't like Whitney's outfit. I didn't like the hair. It was like borrowed from her mob wives.
Yeah.
It's just
Even
a lot of misses.
Even Angie said that later.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're mob wives.
Yeah. I was okay with Mary's look.
Even though it showed up
It was
late.
mainly coat. We'll get to that. It was mainly coat, but I liked it. I liked her look when in the flashback with Angie.
Oh yeah, that was
when
good.
she broke down like that. The hair was really great. And then Britney. I mean, well. I mean, I don't want to be we're not going to be able to avoid it. I mean, high body count hair. It's amazing. Not the hair itself, but like that reed. It's just high body count hair. It just flows so nicely.
I mean,
it was great.
There's so many other ways that, you know, if you, I don't believe that Angie was slut shaming.
No, she was just saying she was tacky.
Yeah.
There was a better way of saying it, but she didn't go there. We'll get into the whole mess of it all, but like it's not unprovoked.
I mean, I guess I'm going to say Angie wasn't not slut shaming. I mean, I don't
think she was slut shaming her when she said that she was banging 3 guys. Well, maybe it was awkward.
She wouldn't be saying those things if she weren't attaching some level of judgment to it, and it wasn't just you have trashy hair.
But they were all thinking it when, you know, Brittany like rolled out like her list of men that she's juggling in order to make herself forget about Jared.
Yeah. But high body count hair.
So good.
I mean,
and then the bump it. And then Mei Lee made an appearance.
Yeah, with her very tall husband.
So tall.
Yeah.
Like probably like 6'7".
Or they were all just really short. That's one of the.
I mean, all the ladies are short and 100 pounds if you're Angie. I love that. But yeah, he was very tall.
Yeah.
And
she was very orange. I wasn't expecting. She had a lot of bronzer on.
Oh, and Meredith. Just fine. Okay. Let's just break it down. And I don't want to insult any.
Just say it.
It seems really performative and just done for a storyline. Like the whole, I'm not shaming her religion, of course. I've been to a bat mitzvah and a bar mitzvah. Or maybe just, when I was 13.
So you're saying you have some Jewish friends?
A couple.
I can't be racist. I have Jewish friends.
No, that's not that. No, not what I was going for. I don't buy it, and I kept rolling my eyes, and like really, like I feel closer to my Jewish heritage, and the things that she was saying. Yes, there have been attacks on Jews, and it's just a really horrible time in our country, and this anti-Semitic, Yes.
Can I step in? Can I try to say?
Yes. Yeah. Tell me what I'm saying.
I think I'm not telling you what to say.
No.
There are two things that I agree with you in one sense, in that it does feel, especially when she went into that speech, that at a time in our nation right now where things are so troubled, it just reads like a public service announcement.
Yes.
That she knew that, like, oh, I can make this my cause this season and bring light to this because I have this platform. Like, that's what it sounded like she was saying.
And no one could talk shit about it except for these two assholes right here.
No, but also, whether people talk shit about it or not, it's like, if she could have broken the fourth wall, she would have said, because I have such a platform, I can bring attention to this, and I feel like it's my but where I think she's being genuine, possibly, is that she's saying, I do feel, because of the increased tensions and the anti-Semitism going on, that it's my responsibility with such a platform to bring attention to this. And I think that she's genuine about that, like, it's an opportunity she has to do it. So whether it's truly genuine, whether she's always wanted a bat mitzvah, whether this is truly something she's been wanting to do or not, I do believe she's genuine when she says she wants to bring attention to it and, like, make sure that, like, people out there, because that whole breakdown when she said, whether you're, Christian or Mormon or Jewish or Muslim or gay or straight, it's like, suddenly how did gay and straight become a religion? Yeah. I was just like, I know she's trying to bring up, like, no matter what our differences are, we're more alike than we are dissimilar. I get that.
And then she pulled Brooks in front of her. Here's my shield, my son.
Yeah.
Shield son.
It just seems she was hitting all the right beats for a public service announcement, and I think that's why it doesn't feel like it's the most true story.
It was very heavy-handed. I think she's definitely genuine in being proud and, like, and, you know, of her Jewish roots and her heritage and celebrating that. It was just very, very heavy-handed.
Yeah.
So on the nose. It was like she like punched me in the nose with this bat mitzvah. And also, it's a little ridiculous for a woman of her age, and that could be any age above 13 when you normally have this done.
No, I mean,
to have this done.
I don't know that I don't know. Maybe older women, maybe people do. Whatever they want to express. Like if Sex in the City, Charlotte got to have a bat mitzvah when she converted.
Oh, no. Well, but that was because her child didn't want to.
Okay. Well,
so she stepped in. It wasn't planned though from the beginning. Yeah,
what I was getting at though is that I'm sure you know.
And it was just like that, not Sex in the City.
Oh, sorry. Didn't she convert in the?
She converted in Sex in the City, but the bat mitzvah.
Oh, okay.
Was
but
for
did
Rose.
She have some sort of ceremony when she converted?
No, she did the classes, and then she
Not that we
graduated.
Should be taking Sex and the City or any of these shows.
How does Kristen Davis feel about this?
As a standard of what happens, but I'm saying like I'm sure that if you were to convert, you know, you'd want to celebrate that, and, you know, and maybe that's how you do it. So I'm not saying that this is completely ridiculous, but in the light of other housewives, I mean, like I joked with you while we were watching it. Did she just like take notes and go, "Oh well, Tamara got baptized. Maybe I."
But you can be baptized at any age. A bat or bar mitzvah is specifically when you were 13 years old, when you're becoming a man or a woman, and to do it when you're 50 something is just, it's ridiculous. I'm sorry.
It does come off that way, but I don't die on that hill.
I'm not dying on the hill. I'm just saying it was a lot, and I felt like if she wasn't on the show, I don't think she would be doing this.
I agree with you.
Yes,
fully. What
else has her storyline been like, except for like dabbling in the stuff that are having problems because we're never together? Like it's mainly been this whole thing.
Her next cause is going to be keeping security guards in business because that woman calls security more.
Word.
What I want to get back to though is I could use some better explanation as to how Lisa Barlow is Jewish by heritage.
Because she is. She converted to this Mormon 2.0 later on in life.
Okay.
She talked about it, being a Jewish.
I don't remember anything about that. So I thought for a minute she was trying to like equate John being Jewish by birth.
I don't know why she keeps pulling that out of like her butt, like the whole John being adopted thing. Like when they've never had a conversation unless they did and it just wasn't used. But it's so abrupt. Like she's dropped it in the last episode, I think it was, and now this one. You know, John was adopted and and it was like. It was last week's episode because Bronwyn was like, "Oh, that's your job now, finding people's lost loved ones, isn't it?" Yeah.
Sorry, I'm conscious of our sound issues. So no, you're fine. I realize I just don't want anything to go wrong. I want to give our listeners, our viewers, the best possible podcast. Yes. We're not one of those fly-by-nights. We're not going to be like, what's her face when she was guest hosting on 2Ts, Alexia and her.
God.
Her living room with the mic 12 feet from her mouth. Like, oh, you can hear me, right?
Her cabinet is a mic. Yeah. Let's wrap this up.
Oh, sorry.
So, again, not shaming Meredith. I think it's great that, you know, she has these beliefs and that she's been very strong, connected to her heritage. It just felt a little performative to me.
Right. I feel
and a little ridiculous, but I'm not the whole act of the whole thing, not the sentiment behind it.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel though, I think Meredith isn't also naturally a performative person. I think because she's on the show, she wants to give something. I think if she
has to, because she really hasn't given that much besides the role models.
But all that aside, I think that if this was something that she was truly feeling, she would have done a much quieter something with just her friends and family, and not
if she wasn't a housewife.
Yeah, she wouldn't have rented out a part of the ski lodge to have this. She probably would have done it at her home with a small group of friends and family. And so I just don't think that this is naturally who she is, and that's why it comes off as
she's not a natural. She's an awkward person, and that's why it just. I feel like if Bronwyn was doing it, I'd be like, oh, this totally makes sense. And like, she would make me believe it. And I would be like, oh, okay, I get where you're coming from. And you do you. But like with Meredith, there's nothing natural about her robotic nature to make me like just go with this. Like, and not think, what?
I think
so that's why I'm having a hard time with it.
Her awkwardness is what I think makes her beloved by a lot of the fans. Because I'm awkward, she's awkward.
Yeah, and I don't suffer. So when it's brought to my doorstep, I'm like, why are you bringing this foolishness to my doorstep?
So I think
let's move on from there.
We should move on to Angie and Bronwyn confronting, because that's really what.
Yeah, because this
Launched
episode,
everything.
everything. Yeah, I like Bronwyn a lot, and she won me back over. But like, I don't understand walking into a conversation demanding an apology.
Yeah, I mean,
or someone's telling you to shut the F up.
So
the front door.
Yeah, I can totally see the way Angie went about it was also, again, not the time or place. They should not have done this in a loud, small room.
Yes.
Like I was saying to you, there should be a rule that if you have to raise your voice to be heard,
right,
that is not the time to have an apology or a one-on-one conversation.
Talking about sound issues, I'm sure like the editors must have like so much trauma with like these like super loud situations, like at the race car thing, you know.
Well, luckily they're trained and they're professionals and they know what to do as opposed to me, you know.
Right. So yes, so started off with like, let's go over here, let's go out to the lobby, some space, whatever. To walking in saying like I should get it, like, in such a passive aggressive, I guess not even passive aggressive, but just the whole like, Bronwyn's like weird, like, which I like her quirkiness, but like sometimes it kind of bugs when she's like, I think I know a ball, and like the head tilt, and I get that's part of like her anxiety and whatnot, but it was just, it's a little too much sometimes, and she should have just said like, I think you owe me an apology. No, actually, sorry. She should have said, she's like, let's talk about this. I was hurt because X, Y, and Z. And let Angie naturally apologize to you, because when you demanded the apology, you're losing right there because you're forcing it. It's not natural. And then when she gave you the apology, you wasn't good enough. So what do you want her to do?
So here's the problem is that Angie wasn't giving a real apology. Angie
thought it was stupid.
No, because Angie came in and was doing the whole buttering her up thing. Oh, you look nice and da-da-da-da.
That's just Housewives.
But it's goofy. Like, she started off well with like, hey, we should come over here and talk. And she should have just gotten right to it and not laid the bullshit on. She should have just been like, okay, so what's the problem? How do we get through it? So I would do the same thing Bronwyn did. The way she said it was not the way I would deliver it. She was like, oh, so is step 2, you're going to apologize to me?
Yeah, like it didn't land.
But it didn't. But I get why she would go there, because it's like all this fake stuff when really what we're talking about is an apology.
I don't think her complimenting Bronwyn was fake, though. I think she was just like, oh, you look nice. I just don't think it was that big of a deal. And that, like, why Angie was so unhinged because she kept saying, shut the F up. It wasn't that huge. Like, Bronwyn made it more than it needed to be. I do think, yes, at the time, Angie was not in a good place with Lisa. So she probably was talking smack about her. And she should have just, like, owned up to that, but I think because she was now in a good place, she didn't want to go back there with Lisa. And she did not appreciate Bronwyn bringing it up to the fold, to the entire group. So if they could just express that, but it started off on the wrong note, on the wrong foot, and I think that's Bronwyn's fault. Like, they were both in the wrong, and it could have gone better if they'd made better decisions. Yeah, that's what I think.
I think also Angie, though, when Angie was called out on giving a crappy apology, which housewives do it all the time, like, I don't want an apology just because I asked for one. Like,
well, then don't ask for it. Sorry.
But don't give me a half-assed apology. Don't be like, oh, okay, well, then I'm sorry. Like, I just generally be like, okay, I hear what you're saying, and like, if you gave me enough attention to try to like calm your own nerves by complimenting me and like making some chit-chat before we got to the heart of it, you could at least do me the favor, if you're gonna give me a shitty-ass apology, of dancing around that a little bit and being like, okay, I see that, I might have been wrong, and for that, I'm truly sorry. But to be like, oh, well, you want an apology? Fine, I'm sorry. Like, that's a messed up apology.
I don't think that was the tone, but also don't walk in demanding the apology. Period. I would never do that. Like I might say it to you, like, oh, she owes me an apology, but I would not walk into a conversation with a person I'm not in a good place with demanding an apology. You've lost already. It's not going to go smoothly. It's Lisa Barlow tactics. Like, she would say that. So you're going to give me my apology now? That's what she would say. That's what Bronwyn did, and I didn't appreciate it.
Well, they're
Angie
friends.
Didn't either. Well, yeah.
Actually, the Lisa Barlow tactic would have no reason to be part of the conversation, but to come rushing over.
Yeah, so let's jump to that. Like, why Whitney and Heather are having a perfectly fine conversation, and like all of a sudden Lisa Barlow flies in on her broomstick and was like, "What's going on? How can I be a part of this?" Yeah. Whitney, you're a liar. You're lying, and it's like, what?
And I actually thought that was really awesome that like Whitney was coming over trying to like start something, like trying to like not start something with Heather, but to be like, hey, I'm mad and show that like I'm mad at Bronwyn. Like,
because we're good and I don't want us to not be good.
And then I like that Heather was at least like, we're fine. Like if I wasn't, it's nothing I haven't heard. And if I wasn't fine, you'd know about it.
But he's also going back to like, one, it wasn't a big deal to Heather, but two, she wasn't going to, even if it was, she wouldn't give Bronwyn the satisfaction of being pissed, because then she would gotten her goat and Heather would not let. Yeah,
that's.
She really wanted to say like, look, Whitney, I don't like that chick, so whatever she says, it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're friends with her or why you're cool with her, but like, I'm surprised she didn't say, see, now you see what I was saying about Bronwyn, right? How she sucks.
Oh, that's going to come next episode.
Oh, for sure. And Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lisa inserting herself in that conversation. Why? What are you doing?
And then she did it again towards the end, even further, which is like, it's like you can't fathom being off camera for more than
like, why am I not a part of this? Yeah. So yeah, then we jump to the other fight, which came out of nowhere with Britani and Angie.
No, even before that.
What happened?
The fact that Bronwyn was over there getting drinks with Bailey and
she's like, well,
never thought I would find myself being friends with you guys, which is already the bitchiest thing you can say to someone. Just so they're like, oh, I'm over here with you losers.
You friends of.
Which, I mean, I guess it's kind of, well, at the time they were filming, Britani wasn't a friend of, though, was she?
I don't think they knew.
They didn't know. Yeah. But anyway, it's already like, I'm over here with you losers, which if delivered properly could be like self-deprecating and like, haha, I'm totally joking. Right. But given where they came from, Bronwyn didn't like Britani at all. So just to say that, like, I thought we'd be friends.
And like, why is she like this on Mei Lee? Like, Mei Lee's pretty
innocuous. Yeah. Like, what has she been doing? But the fact that she was like, oh, well, and they had the confessional of Britani saying like, oh, at least I never thought it'd be friends. This is going to be great.
I'm looking forward to like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. And then when they walk over back to Angie and everyone.
And Britani puts her arm. I was like,
girl, how needy can you be?
She's like, oh, me and Bronwyn, we got something to say.
We're
like,
besties. And then Bronwyn just.
Like, nope. Boop.
But I mean, I thought that
line of like, she wanted to be we've been friends for a minute. I gave her a solid 5. Done with that shit.
Yeah.
That shit's over.
I just thought it was great. I also thought it was completely fair because I think it was not fair to Britani. It was mean to Britani for sure, but I mean, at least she's not pretending. But for Bronwyn, I thought it was great when she leaned over and be like, oh, you know, she called you a slut,
right.
and just totally stirred the pot. And
Angie was like, oh, hell no.
I just liked the unapologetic nature of like, oh, you think I'm going to do this now. I got your back.
Like from head to toe of like your slutty, your high body count hair, your high body count dress, like just like boop, boop, boop down the line. And just like, it was like good reading. Angie did not come to play.
It was really, really, really good. Again, I don't think that she was outright suggesting that or seriously believing
that
Britani is a slut, and the whole idea of slut shaming, again, I don't think you say those things without attaching some level of judgment to it,
right?
But I think that she was more, like we already discussed, calling her just kind of cheap looking, if you were to make a stereotypical view of a 70s hooker, or I guess a 90s, because she said 90s hair as well.
Like, okay, it's a couple of things. One, Britney's look was horrible. The hair was trashy, and it was very dated.
It was very dated.
And Angie's a hairdresser, so she called it as she saw it.
I thought Britney was actually very pretty, and I think that's the look that she goes for.
But it is dated. It's cheap. It's cheap, and I think that's what really Angie should have said. It's cheap, it's tacky, whatever. But when Lisa in her confessional said that, Angie says these things and she only sees the reaction, she doesn't talk about, talks about the reaction to like what she does and not how she provoked it. It's like, no. Brittany provoked her. Like Brittany at the table, like got an attitude to her and back at Mary's party. And so Andrew's like, no, we're not doing that. And then to go into the whole Meredith thing of Meredith saying like, Angie just talks horribly about women and she slut shames. It's like when last year when Angie clapped back at you, it's because you were helping to spread rumors that her husband was a gay. So, Was gay and like sleeping with a bunch of men around Salt Lake City. And so rightfully so, she got pissed about that and like brought it back to the usual Meredith rumor that Lisa Barlow started about how she's screwing everybody and basically that she and Seth like have an arrangement and they just screw other people. So
yeah,
Angie doesn't like come out like being mean and malicious. I don't understand like what Lisa was saying, where she's going with that, and I'm sure it'll be addressed at the reunion because it was a really crappy thing to say about her friend.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. Yeah.
There's just so much to unpack. And I know when we were watching, we're like, oh, again, we got to remember that I don't want to take notes because it takes the kind of fun out of this and the spontaneity. Yeah. But there's so much going on. Like, it's hard to keep it all straight.
And then.
How do you think these women feel though? Like living this?
Oh yeah,
God.
But the Karen of it all, the security, she needs to leave, and like to have those men literally escort this cast member, your coworker, out of your party. So
I feel like
it's tacky.
It's tacky,
very tacky.
And Angie. You could tell Angie was like, whoa, hold on. Like, she's trying to slow things down, but also I don't think they cut anything out. I don't think Meredith even heard Meredith's or Angie's side of the story.
No, Meredith was just like,
she was just
Meredith was looking for a reason to start some shit. Otherwise, why would you have security there? Yeah. So, and when she heard slut shaming, Meredith doesn't give a damn about Brittany, but she was like, oh, you don't like Angie? Okay, let me solve that problem. Get security and embarrass this woman and throw her out of my bat mitzvah. Like, it was so...
Yeah.
So performative. I cannot with Meredith. Like, that's the thing I don't like about Meredith. It just all seems so fake and put upon. And I don't like that in a housewife. I don't care how iconic she is, about the rumors about your husband, whatever, the bath shit. I don't care. If you're fake as shit, I'm not going to like cheer you on or champion you. Like, that's just... No, that's not a good housewife.
I agree.
Go back to your Airbnb. God. Take a bath.
Get your filth off. Wash your filth.
But yeah, poor Angie, like, basically like about to cry in the lobby, but trying not to cry. And then like Lisa not making this situation any like better.
Yeah.
It was just like...
I'm going to say, I don't think the phrase poor Angie. Angie's not the victim in this. I don't think...
Not the victim, but like to be treated that way, to be kicked out of the party with the express purpose of embarrassing this woman who is your equal on the show, your coworker, just to be a dick about it because she said she clapped back at you, and rightfully so, and did it better than you did it for her. After you threatened to expose the role models about her husband, as if she was going to just sit down and take that, like, screw you, Meredith.
Yeah. I think that's where it gets, when someone won't hear you out and they just you refuse to listen to you, that's where it just gets so frustrating. And obviously there was some alcohol involved because I think Angie did seem a little lit.
Yeah.
I was going to say lit as well. I love it. We're on the same page. Yeah. But so I know that didn't help much at all. And, I liked that Mary went out and checked on her and asked her what was going on and didn't really have any.
And Whitney too.
Yeah. But
Mary's like, what happened?
Yeah. It was just so goofy. But yeah, so much going on.
The Mary of it all, with
that's showing up late, looking through the window.
Who's that creeping in the window?
The fact that it was happening like right behind the center of the attention, like
why is it all black?
Yeah,
like and it's like this like Mary shadow,
and then just her appearing in the window,
like Nosferatu.
Yeah. And then when, of course, she finally gets in, she like takes the longest route around to where she's sitting. It's like I don't know.
And walks over like Whitney, Angie, and both their husbands.
I mean, it was a complete Looney Tunes, like, pardon me, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, pardon me. Oh, excuse me, pardon me. All right, you know. Only thing better would have happened is there's a whoopee cushion on her seat.
And meanwhile, Meredith was having this emotional moment, like, you know, breaking down at the podium as like her family cries on. God, Seth cries a lot. Lord, man, your fake yarmulke.
I do say I would love a Meredith Marks yarmulke, and I don't know that I would really. If she sells a Meredith Marks yarmulke on the internet, I might buy one.
I am sure she will, with her bath bombs and
caviar
and jewelry at her store.
Yeah. The necklace Lisa was wearing looked like it came from Alibaba. It was like a weird like bone.
In her confessional?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it didn't.
Like a scarab?
Yeah. I was like, that doesn't fit right. And it just makes her neck look worse. It was just like not the best.
No.
But
then like, I wasn't expecting Meredith and Mary to like make up. And I love you so much. I'm like, this must all be happening off camera.
Yeah. Or like, what do they know about each other? They love each other.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm going to sneeze. I can't.
Oh, so much.
No, I'm not sneezing.
Okay, good.
I refuse to do it. For those of you who know, I sneeze a lot. I'm not going to do it.
And it's loud. Okay. It was just so like, oh, this is happening. You're okay. Because when she led with, no one's ever left my house like that or done that to me, or I was like, oh, this won't go well. And then it circled back to, I apologize.
But then she went ahead in her confessional and was like, I got real stuff going on right now. I can't be bothered with this fake stuff. She's pretty much saying like, I don't care about Meredith. Like,
well, I thought it was more so like, this fight is petty. It's dumb. Compared to like what I'm dealing with Robert, because she was like, Mary's one of my closest friends, which okay.
I also get the feeling Mary doesn't have that many friends, so the definition could be, but
loose.
Yeah, loosely. Yeah, closest friend being one, or I guess Angie's two.
Yes, so. Yes.
But no, I think you're right in one extent as well. But also at the same time, she was very dismissive of like the importance of Meredith once Meredith was not sitting in front of her. So that's all I'm saying. But
yes, fair weather friend.
And then she said something hilariously funny even after that.
Oh, the whole like when she drank the wine, she's like, I don't like this.
Yes. I don't know how Mary, I don't know what they did to like get us to like Mary again, because the last couple seasons I was really off of her.
Yes.
But maybe this is her true quirky self. Maybe this is the thing that Andy Cohen loves about her that we couldn't understand.
Well, I think for me, it's that she's been very open in a way that she wasn't. And she was very hateful and weird in her first 2 seasons as a full-time housewife, and now I feel like she's being very honest.
Yeah,
to a certain extent.
When Heather ordered a caloric drink,
yes,
like, apparently you want to fatten me up. Well, yeah, kind
of. So yeah, I like this version of Mary. I hope that it sticks. I think this version could be a full-time housewife.
Yeah. Brittany did try to run off and storm off and like go cry in a corner, and then like kept circling back. She was running around hysterically. I was just like, what? And
then I loved when they kicked Angie out, and they gave her a coach. She's like, this is Brittany's.
Mine.
And threw it on the ground.
I forget what I was trying to go for with Brittany, but we'll leave it alone. What I could have really gone without is the postscript of Lisa Barlow narrating.
That was too much. It was already a great episode. I didn't need like the wink at the audience. She hates her, but now we're going to Mexico.
My 2 problems were it was done as though we, the audience, are too damn stupid to understand, and now we're going to go to Puerto Vallarta. That'll be fun. Like, what? They didn't mention, what does that mean? Like, they had to be explained, you know?
Or they could have just, like, in the next episode done a, like, flashback, you know, we're not in a good place, but I arranged the trip, and then you flash to her calling everybody or talking about it at the bat mitzvah before shit hit the fan.
Yeah.
It didn't need this weird, like not tag on, but clipped on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
postscript.
Yeah.
But the other thing, though, she's like, and then everyone's having beef with everyone. And she goes on to name 3 people having beef with each other.
You forget, like, Heather Bronwyn, or, like...
If they were going to make a point of everyone has beef with each other, it should have been every combination. If they're going to take this time to have this dramatic, like, sort of moment.
Or maybe you put together a nice action wall.
I know.
Illustrate all the beefs. Hello.
God, Bronwyn said it in the last episode.
Boop, 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 boop. That's what you do.
There's a great TikTok that we made.
There's a great TikTok.
Come on, we can go like that TikTok. Like us. We're awesome. Sorry, I'm a little needy and thirsty. Just like Brittany.
You want some water?
Let me put my hand through.
This is my friend Bronwyn. Girl.
Oh, okay. Well,
bless her heart.
I know. We've said quite enough about Salt Lake, so I think we should just move on, and we'll watch some New York and do that one next time, and we'll do this next time.
Until next time.
Okay.